when the world's too dark of a place to be, and you need an escape from reality. Open up those pages, it's sci-fi or fantasy, whatever genre you please. And join a book club, 'cause you won't read it on your own. Join a book club, so you'll be held accountable. It's just a means to an end, but you're doing it with your friends, so join the book club by DLC.
Hello there, book clubbers. How you doing? Holy moly, what? We got reasons to dance this week. We got lots of reasons to dance this week. So excited to talk to you about 3 chapters of The Crippled God. I'm Jeff Kanata. I'm here with Lana Bachynski. Hi, Lana.
Hello. This is the first time that felt like there was so much stuff in the chapter. Like 15 minutes before this, I just clicked through my Kindle and just gave a quick little review on what happened, because there's a lot of stuff. Holy moly.
There's a lot to parse. There's a lot for us to work through here today. So we're not going to do a non-spoiler topic this week because it's just 3 chapters, tons to dig into, and I'm sure we'll be going along even with that. But a couple of notes to start. First is something pretty big and pretty special happened. If you're in the Discord, you already know. We already know. It's extremely overwhelming and wonderful for us, but we're not going to go into it quite yet. Just know that it's pretty amazing and pretty special. And if you're in the Discord, you get it. But the other thing is no episode next week. I'm going to London in 2 days on a family vacation. We're going to take the kids on their first big trip overseas. So we're going to London. And so that means no episode next week. So programming note, don't expect an episode. We'll be back. I know. Hey, I'm just as anxious to get into these next chapters as anybody else. I feel like such an excitement with this book. Mm-hmm. Because it feels like everything is building to this crescendo. So believe me, it hurts not to have an episode next week, but we'll be back after that and continuing on. So don't expect anything next week. Okay, Lana.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. Living in a surreal world where like I'm reading a book and every once in a while my brain's like, remember that? But I'm good and I'm good to go, baby. Let's
do it. Spoilers starting now for chapters 8, 9, and 10 of The Crippled God. We start with the sad children. The sad children. Sad children of the Shake. This is a powerful snake. Excuse me. Yes, not Shake. Different. I found this to be a pretty powerful moment. This recurring theme, especially in these 3 chapters we're talking about this week, with the children. The children are dying. I pulled a little blurb from this for the end of the show. Mm-hmm. But this is it resonates obviously with what's happening in the world right now, with children die. I mean, right now, all the time, as this section of the book makes very clear and very explicit. But in this particular moment, we are introduced to this one individual child named Thorl, who is attacked by these shards, these horrible locusts, and the other kids pounce on it, as we've heard in the previous novel. We heard that was their way of eating, is just waiting for one of the kids to go down and then just feasting on the bugs that are ripping the body apart. Mm-hmm. Truly terrible imagery, but powerful.
And married with this idea of like the reason Thorl ended up getting got was because they also gave in to their fear. And so not only were the bugs all around them, but then they screamed and then the bugs were able to get in their mouth. That's right. It's like a very literal physical thing of like, if you give into your fear, you'll open your mouth and the bugs will get in. But it also is sort of like layered with Badal's poetic outlook on what that means, sort of more on that metaphysical level.
Yes, and she has to sort of pep talk Rut into not giving up. Yeah. Rut is ready to give up, and she's like, "What have held? You know, the baby in your arms. What will become of Held if you give up? You can't. You don't have that option." which of course works as a metaphor in so many ways. And this notion of Held having been born, had the name capital B born when it came from its mother, and how that cycle continues and becomes mother, and then that gives birth to a born, which becomes a Held. And I found all that very powerful.
Yeah, and even the fact that, again, it's not just talking about that cycle, but them sort of taking note of, like, the older kids in the snake are maybe going to be mothers and fathers themselves soon, because they're still living. They're existing the way that humans do. Well, I guess I don't explicitly know that they are human. I'm just
right.
They come across that way.
Right. Humanoid.
Humanoids do.
The next scene, we are back on the chilly ship, Shirk's cold ship that has been frozen over by Amtos Falak. And Falash is like, hey, why is everybody mad? You should be grateful. I saved everybody. Why are we all sad?
I saved everybody, and how was I supposed to know that all boats like have water in them a little bit?
Yeah.
And that freezing that water would ultimately be bad for the boat.
Listen, I'm not a boat expert.
I'm barely an Amtos Falak expert, okay?
Yeah, hilarious that there's an amount of water in the hold of a ship to keep it buoyant, and she's like, oopsie, froze it, broke ship, sorry. And she's like, how are we gonna fix the ship? There's no, Shirk's like, there's no wood, there's no materials, we have no ability to fix the ship, it's ice everywhere. And she's like, well, is there possibly some wood inside the
hold?
Not the hold of the ship, but the Warren's, the predecessor, the magical place where you got your Amtos Falak from, down on Amtos Falak Row in the Amtos Falak district.
She's like, I don't know, let's check it out. And like boots the handmaiden in there.
So rad. These next 3 scenes are so awesome, where she's like, all right, yeah, I mean, we'll check it out. She's like, well, is it a little dangerous to go in there? Oh yeah, definitely. Extremely. Very dangerous.
The scenes, the bouncing back and forth, we stick with them on the beach or in the hold, sort of back and forth for a bit.
Yeah.
But even then there's they're together, but then they're separate on the beach, where they have this conversation. It's like, yeah, it's super dangerous. We'll do it. It's fine. I'll do it. I'll open it. And then they go, and she's like, gear up, handmaiden. Take your good axes. And then Shirk's like, why she got a body like that? Shirk's only thinking about her corporeal envy of her. But the sort of internal,
Oodaloo
separate,
gotta eat, Lana. Oodaloo gotta eat. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta get its. And then it bounces back and forth between, Falash opening the breach, the handmaiden diving in is like this rugged,
so rad
Viking barbarian vibes, just going in and destroying anything that she needs to, just voles and apes and animals abound. And she's like, well, I gotta find a boat. But then it cuts back to Falash. She's like, this is so fun. This is great.
Yeah, aren't we having a great time out here? So in her furs on the ice, when everybody else is like, is it so cold? And she's like, I know, isn't it?
And I know she has some kind of hookah or something, but my brain, she's vaping. She's just like, because there's even sentences where she's like, 1 sec.
I know. It feels like Erikson was way ahead of the curve on this one, because she's like, I know this was written, 10 years ago at least, but it is so a 19-year-old right now, you know what I mean? 2025 vibes hard.
So funny.
And we have seen hints that the handmaiden is a badass. But now we get full-on confirmation of just how badass that handmaiden is, where it just indefatigable, unstoppable. Just, you got to go to the place no one's ever returned alive from. All right, here we go. And she just jumps right in. No hesitation, just whack, 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 killing everything. Like, what do I got to do? Thing in her teeth, just like,
yeah.
It's just completely, there's no saying no to in her at all. There's no can't do spirit in her at all. It's just,
and everything.
Always, yeah.
It's not like, oh, she had to like work through, and it's like showing her mind to like get to the place, and she's like really well rounded. It's like, no, she will do what Flash asks and is a badass. Everything wants to kill her. The rats want to kill her. The apes want to kill her. The fog wants to kill her. Has like wading into the water once she like sees the boat in this flash flood that like washed it out to where it is, and she's like, that'll do. Going through the fog, like teeth sinking in all the way around her legs, and she's chopping herself free to climb up onto the boat.
Just covered in lacerations, bloody as hell. Doesn't even know how to drive a boat. She's like, I'm also not a boat expert, but let's go.
It seemed like enough wood.
So awesome.
So
and again,
cool.
You're so right to point out the juxtaposition of the badassery and the like on 11 level of crisis and, risking one's life, juxtaposed with Flash, like, she should be back any second, what I mean? Like, any second. Just awesome stuff.
Yeah.
And
even the magic of like Flash is like, okay, you go through, but here's like a little shard, like a little stake splinter basically of the existing boat, I think it is, so that you can come back here. You can use this in some way. A real quick bend move, I felt.
Yeah. And Shirk and what is his name? Skurgan. What is his name?
Skorgan.
Skorgan. Both of the, she's undead, so it's not bothering her, the cold, but he's just like turning blue, like so cold. And you're right, like the boat just comes bursting back into their reality, out of control, Speed 2 style with the just like careening onto the into the ice. There's your wood. All right. But no, I ain't even going to use that as the wood. We're just going to use that ship.
Yeah.
Which I think is even cooler. We're like, let's get on the ship. Ship is covered in blood. We're like, let's just everybody onto this ship. Let's go.
But also it's not perfectly intact, and they need people to pump it out before it also beaches and sinks here forever. I love picturing that boat coming out, like you're like be in a pool and like take like a beach ball or something and hold it underwater, and so it's like whoosh, and it shoots out. Picturing it like that, but then the handmaiden at the helm just trying to like
not knowing how to do it.
I have no idea how to steer this thing.
Just like covered in blood, like incredible imagery.
And when Shirk gets up there, she's like, "Where's the anchor?" She's like, "I don't know."
Awesome. Really wonderful way to start the chapter. Then we pop over to old Silchus, who's hanging out with some gods, some real elder gods up in here. Ones we have heard of before, ones I don't think we have. Do we know Maori?
I thought maybe at some point somebody mentioned them in a list, but I'll say no.
I mean, my kids
I don't know them.
Yeah. My kids have watched
Moana
too many times for me to know if I have not heard that name before.
Yeah.
But yes, also Decembre is there, who we're going to hear a lot more about shortly. And also somebody else. Oh, Logros, right? Is he there? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Silchus is like hanging out with all the gods. Guess where they are? I thought that was pretty awesome.
Just hanging with Coltane's pyre.
Just the crucified Coltane site that exists forevermore in the pantheon of God moments.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So cool.
Yeah.
I love that a lot of these folks, it's like, we've heard Beru a lot just through people cursing. Yeah. Very, very awesome. And there's something that came up in this chapter that I thought was, I was continue to be haunted by that one comment from a couple weeks ago. People in the Discord found which one I'm talking about. What does that mean here? Because they're talking. He's looking, still just again looking for a weapon for.
It's so funny too. Well, Shadow Throne pops up. He's like, I'm here, and yeah, he's Silchus is like, yeah. He's like, why are you even here, man? He's like, well, my buddy needs a sword.
Yeah, I love that he's like, who's like a cool dude who probably is a sort of Coltane, I guess, just like going to like the most badass guy of history. And I don't know if it's like a little
who's on my phone that might have a sword.
Rolodex of cool warriors. Cool warriors, Alexa. Shadow Throne being like, no, I got a sword. And I forget if it's right when Shadow Throne emerges, where he's like, he can like hear you guys. Or is it after he leaves?
I think it might be after he leaves, but
yeah. But either way, he's like, I got a sword for you. He's gonna love it. But what's the stipulation with the sword?
No, he's like, it's a Hust sword. And Silchus is like, oh, snap. I thought I knew all the first edition Husts.
Yeah.
Like, this is like a first edition Hust? Oh, dude, I never seen this one. This is super rare, bro. And he's like, in fact, cooler than my friend needs, frankly. Like, he can't even wield something so rad. And Shadowthrone's like, all right, here's an idea. You take the Hust, you give him your sword. Everybody's happy. Everybody's cool.
Mm-hmm. Give them your goat swords or whatever they are. They have like a curse on them that they're always moaning or whatever it is.
Singing, yeah.
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 And he's like, and what do I give for this? And he goes, ever heard of a thank you? And he's like, I will leave you with this. Don't hang out with these guys. They suck.
Yeah. Don't hang out with your pals. These are losers. All these gods are losers. But he also says, well, there's Jess, which is another name I'm not sure I've known before. Jhess. Jess refers to the Bone Hunters as Shadow Throne's children.
Yeah.
Interesting. Also, Shadow Throne is like, hey, do you notice the Queen of Dreams isn't around? Notice that? Everybody, hello? Guess what? Queen of Dreams not sleeping anymore. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, that seems important. I don't know why, but it seems important. Queen of Dreams not sleeping.
Queen of morning coffee. Am I right?
Yeah.
Then the other conversation. So what's his face leaves. Still just pieces out of there.
That's right.
And
got my sword. Thanks, bro.
Yeah. And Shadowthorn turns around. And he's like, all of you are like so annoying. He like cracks December in the face with his cane.
Yeah.
But the thing that this got me thinking about the comment again, is he's like, the best parts of all of you are out walking with the mortals. Yeah. And I'm like, does that mean like a physical or spiritual split where like what is ascended is actually not your physical being? I mean, Shadowthorn pops around wherever, Male seems to go wherever. Like is being, and I know Male is an elder god, different sitch maybe, but is being in this pantheon something where you're sacrificing your corporeal body for whatever else there is, but your corporeal body isn't literally sacrificed? Or is it that like they're destriants, they're like their first swords and things are the parts that are the best parts of them? Did you get a sense of that?
I think I read it slightly differently than you, because I didn't think he was saying everybody is split. I thought he was just saying December in particular is split.
Interesting.
So I don't know which one of us is correct here, but I thought he was saying December, hey buddy, don't you even understand? The best part of you isn't even here right now. The best part of you is walking around in the mortal world. Which isn't that Traveler? Or am I conflating?
That's Dassem Altor.
Isn't that who December is?
Probably.
Dassem Altor became December, and we find out in the next chapter how and why.
Oh yeah.
So isn't that Traveler? And isn't Traveler the one that killed Rake?
Yeah.
So he's like the the best part of you is wandering the mortal world, and the worst part of you is here. Yeah, again, I'm not really sure what that means, but I felt like it was just specific to December.
Yeah. There's something about it that made me feel like it was not just him, but definitely
You could be right.
him.
Yeah. All right. So then Shadow Throne pieces out and heads over to meet up with his buddy Cotillion.
But the other thing that he talks about to Silchus is he's like, yeah, these people are not my kin. I'm not of them. And then they even continue to call him the upstart, which is interesting to hear from like the god's perspective that he's still the upstart and not just a part of the pantheon.
Yeah. Well, Cotillion and Shadow Throne have a really on-brand enigmatic convo. You know?
Yeah.
Just a real classic Cotillion Shadow Throne. What are you talking about? Talking in code. He says
doing their tasks.
Yeah. Cotillion says, "Did you do it?" And Shadow Throne says, "Yes, I did. Of course I did." Shadow Throne then asks Cotillion whether he went back to Shadowkeep to send her off. And he said yes, to kill the biggest, meanest one. I know. I'm sure it all makes sense in a reread. And I'm sure it all fit. But, again, raising questions, getting me excited. What does it mean? Who's the biggest, meanest one? Who is she? I have a theory. We'll get to it shortly as who she might be.
You're gonna tease that you.
Well,
have
there's another
theory.
Scene that makes me think that that's what he's talking about. So we'll get to when we get to that scene.
Okay. But the first one was him going to Lestara to be like, "What's that?" Right?
I'm not sure, frankly. I mean, I had that thought too, but I don't know if that's exactly what they're talking about. I think there may be double meaning here.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so then we have the scene with Withal, who is hanging out on the shore, as one does, lazy beach day. And he finds, I guess he falls through like a sinkhole and finds some sweet drawings that the Teisliosen once painted on the wall, and admires them. And admires the fact that they wanted to sort of keep this moment, sacred for all time by painting it on the wall. Then he's like, "Hey, I wonder what Eden Derrick's doing down there over at Lightwall, at Lightfall." So he heads on down, and Eden Derrick is staring at the wall, and they see a dim shape go by. And he's like, "Hey, what's that?" He's like, "Oh, that's the dragons blasting the wall with their fire breath," or I don't know, fire breath, but with their magics.
Mm-hmm. He's like,
"Is that bad?" He's like, "Oh yeah, that's very, very bad."
I like it. Withal kind of comes up and he's like, "We got like a ETA on this, or
yeah.
And he's like, "Well, let's observe. It's right now. Oh my god, it's right now. Get out of here."
Yeah, basically. But I like how he's like, "You see that little dark shadowy shape?" He's like, yeah, I see it. He's like, "Oh, that's a dragon trying to get through." He's like, "A dragon? Are you gonna fight it?" He's like, "Oh yeah."
Sorry,
like, well,
we are gonna fight it.
Yeah, we are gonna fight it. He's like, how exactly? He's like, "Well, you see how he's like blasting the bottom part? That's so all the other people can get through. So he's gonna have to land to get through. And when dragons land, that's when you get them." He's like, "Get them? Yeah, that's
He's
when
like,
you get them."
And voila. He's like, "I feel like there's still a lot of effort between the dragon landing and you getting them."
Yeah.
But
and you don't seem very worried about it, which makes me even more worried about it.
You're not worried that like maybe if and this is not to say that it was the wrong choice, but if you hadn't killed all the witches, we could have had a little bit more support. He's like, "But would we have? Because they would have killed my sister, and then they would have killed each other. This would have been a whole thing. So I just killed them all."
He's like, "The real problem is my sister refuses to kneel to the shore." He's like, "I don't know. Why do you think she's doing that?" She's like, "Well, she's real stubborn. That's what it is. Real stubborn lady."
I love that it's like, but but Derek, doesn't she have to kneel to the shore to like use the power really or whatever it is? And he's like, she sure does with all. She sure does. Anyway, they coming through. So
yeah. And oh, BT dubs, here they come. Let's go. And then we cut over to Jan Tovas, who's like, oh, they coming right now. And the slaughter is going to begin.
And it does seem like it's going to be, it is teed up to be a slaughter. Because as Withal's walking over to Yenderig, it's not like he's like, oh, everybody's looking so prepared. They're like still hammering out the helms. Right. There's still people shaking in their boots because they're like, I'm going to have to fight with a spear. Like they don't know. Right. They're not fighters necessarily. And so they were teed up to be very unprepared.
Yeah, and Derek is like, yeah, I'm gonna have to ask everybody to like not retreat, like stand and fight until they die. And then Pulley and Squish come over to Jan Tovas and like, you could kneel before the shore now. It's a good time. Everybody's gonna die.
A little proactivity. Like, never hurt anybody.
It's still a no. Still a no.
Well, still a no, but then there's sort of like this twist at the end that I can't tell if it is her looking down and realizing how unprepared everybody is and that they're going to get slaughtered. But there is like a maniacal twist. She's like, yeah, everybody will kneel. Yeah. Not just me. If we all kneel, it's not the same thing. But there's like, she has like in my memory, like sort of a twisted grin on her face when she's like, everybody's going to kneel, but her still like not doing that. It's like she's trying to get people to take her place, or she just knows they're going to die, or I don't know. It felt dark.
Yeah. I'm really hoping, I got a worried feeling that this was all going to happen off screen, that we're going to cut away and come back and it'll have been done. But I hope not. I hope we get to see this rad battle.
Me too.
Because it sounds like a rad battle. And I want to see Eden Derrick like be awesome again. He's awesome.
Yeah, and I want to see a dragon try to wiggle through that little gap.
That's right. All right, so that is chapter 8. Chapter 9, we start with Talk and Aster, who comes upon a corpse that is huddled with no feet. I think we all know who that is.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful, sad moment where he comes upon this corpse and understands the circumstances by which it has found itself here. And he kind of has this moment of communion with its spirit. We talk about it. It starts with this beautiful idea of like letting a spirit go and some linger. And there's some imagery here that I don't know exactly how to parse. A wolf being hunted. I know that Talk was the one-eyed wolf for a while, right? In the early novels. So maybe that has something a bit, an old woman sitting in a chair.
There's also the children. I don't have their names. One starts, the little Tool's child's name starts with an A, but I can't remember his name. But he also has a connection with wolves. And then Sitak is also
right.
Wolf.
Well, lots of wolf beast stuff is happening shortly.
Yeah,
big ascendancy of the wolves for sure. And we're also going to find out that Krugava and Tanakalian are all up in the wolves too. So lots of wolves, of which this is another reference. And there's this enigmatic line where the woman says to Talk, loose the wolf within you, and one day you shall find her. And Talk says, who is she? And she says, wax in the fire. I could not figure that what the clue is there.
I couldn't figure out what the clue is. The only her that I was thinking of for Talk was either Lady Envy.
Oh, interesting. Wax in the fire, though. I don't know.
I mean, the last time we saw her, it was just like Lady Envy's in love and then fighting her sister.
I was trying to think of who is waxy, who has wax. What is the wax referring to? I don't know.
I know. Interesting. She had like her estate was the only piece that I thought of, is that she was just kind of in Dresden or wherever she was.
Yeah. Well, the scene ends with him lifting the corpse out of its repose, putting it on his horse and galloping away, and then opening his third eye. Yeah.
His third eye.
Second eye.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
But the way that it's described is like he closed his eye and opened the one that wasn't there or something.
Yeah. So cool. So cool. All right, so then we have this other scene that is wrapped in shrouds of mystery, which is an unnamed female rider is galloping at a pace, buffeted by these powerful winds, fighting against it, riding at speed, and remembers having ridden into the whirlwind.
Yeah.
And then another rider comes up on a gaunt horse, and they have an exchange that's very friendly, oh, I haven't seen you in a long time. Good to see you too.
Yeah.
And then it ends with, oh, the things we'll do for love.
You're grinning like you got theories, Kanata.
I got theories. Do you have theories?
I have theories, but I think this is the scene that ties back to your other scene.
It is. It is indeed.
Hit me with it. Hit me with it.
It's Sorry and Crocus. That's who I think it is. Is that who you think it is?
Ooh, I honestly didn't even go there.
I think because at one part, I don't remember. I should have written it down, but there's an exchange where she says something to him of like, oh, now you show up or something. And he goes, sorry.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's a clue.
That's
now,
good.
I could be reading way too far into this. I don't know for sure. My cheat sheet doesn't say anything. I have no foreknowledge at all. But Gaunt, I haven't seen you in a long time. I didn't know where you are. We haven't seen Crocus in a long time.
That's better than my guesses.
What's your guess?
I at the end, the things I do for love. I was like, is that a weird? This is one that I've talked myself into and out of a bunch. I thought it might be a red herring, and it could be Tavor and Gnus. And it's actually the sibling love. They haven't seen each other.
Oh, interesting. But we never see Tavor like riding on a horse, like, you know.
Well, I mean, she's on a horse all the time.
Yeah, but
so
she's so like
she's there.
Staid and contained.
The reason that I didn't think it was her is because it's in her mind. In that thing, and I just think there's no way. I think that's the whole point, is we never get with her. And so
sorry, go ahead.
The other thing I thought about was, but it doesn't make sense because Silver Fox, but I was like, is it somehow Tattersail?
Oh, there is that moment where I had that thought too, because there's that moment where she's talking about riding so fast, and then like her cloak comes unclipped from the horse and flaps like it doesn't say tattered sail, but almost like that.
Yeah.
Like a frayed cape or something like that. And I was like, ooh, is that a clue? I had that same thought. But I think the scene with Cotillion and Shadow Throne, he says, did you meet up with her? And I think he met up with Apsalar, and he set her off to go kill the big one or whatever.
You got it. I feel like you got it for sure. All of that makes sense. It could.
I'm not going to pat myself on the back quite yet, because I don't, I could totally get this wrong. But if that is, I want that to be the case so bad. So that's why I think it can't be the case, is because I want it so bad,
But I love that it fits together nicely in a way that it feels well connected. Yeah.
But and it's awesome, like the idea that they would reunite. The thing that kind of puts doubt in my head is like, I don't feel like that. There's sort of casual nature to their interchange there that feels like maybe that's not how they would, having not seen each other for so long, and him thinking that she was lost to him forever and all that stuff. I don't know. Maybe that's not how it would play, but I want it to be the case.
But is it real? Is it a dream? Like, what is it? I feel like it's it's surreal in a particular way that anything could happen.
Yeah.
And this, just for posterity, nobody confirm or deny.
Yes. Please, in the comments, don't tell us. Don't tell us. I don't know how soon or not soon we will find out, but don't tell us if I'm right or Lana's right. The other idea I had, which I don't think is correct, but the first kind of inkling when it said for love, I was like, is it Kalam and his lady, whose name I can't remember right now?
Yeah.
Something. I don't remember her name.
No.
It's not Corlat. Corlat is the Tistidur who was in love with Whiskey Jack.
Yeah.
Anyway, cool scene just because of how much mystery and questions it puts in your head. And I love those where it's like, who this? Who that?
What is that? It feels important. There's another thing that I don't know when to bring it up because I don't know when the scene is, but just because we're talking about this, the possible relationships here. I'll wait. There's going to be a better time that's going to trigger. I just don't want to forget.
All right. Well,
I'm writing it down.
You got time?
No.
Okay.
All right. Go on.
So the next scene is Olar Ithil, and Torrent. They see the two lizards still following them. Tellerrast and Curdle, of course. And
no dialogue from them, which I thought was
no dialogue.
They're just
kind of lurking in the background. And Torrent has had to take care of the kids, Onos, Tulan's kids, and he's like, I'm not good at taking care of kids. Last time I took care of kids, they all died. Not good.
But it's one of those things that I think happens a lot with people. They're like, ooh, I'm not good with kids. But he clearly is.
That's what makes you good with kids.
The best with the kids. Yeah. Just taking care of them. You saw it even in the previous chapters where he's like, we're going to take turns on the horse. I can walk. It's okay. Mm-hmm. He's like being a thoughtful guy. And again, even in the reflections of everybody's eyes who turn their back on these children, he's like, well, I'm going to go ride out with them. I'm not going to leave the kids. He's like the only one who seems to be good, quote unquote, good with the kids.
It's the understanding of responsibility that makes him good. Like understanding the weight of that responsibility is exactly what is needed. But also, and there's a section here I pulled as well. I love this notion of realizing that moment as a child when you realize the elders don't know everything. It's beautifully expressed here. And I pulled it. I don't know if you pulled it too. It's smiling like you did.
I didn't, but I remember I was reading this, just very random, a personal side. In the university that we had to write an essay on when we realized our parents weren't immortal. And I was like, I remember writing my essay being like, I think that I am still in denial.
That's lovely. I don't think I had that moment of disenchantment. I don't remember it being a single moment. I don't know. Anyway, so then we have this really cool series of scenes where Olar Ithil is, she's back. She's going to reach out with her mind and talk to Tool and be like, hey, you don't understand what I'm doing here. You got to listen up. I have the best interests of the Tulan Amas at heart. You are the one that's screwing up. You heeded the call of the First Throne. You listen to the Emperor. Emperor's dead. Let it go. Stop being so stubborn. I'm trying to do what's right here. Listen to me.
And it's not even the Emperor's blood. If you're going to heed anybody's blood, it's not his blood. It's the other guy's blood. So
Logros.
Logros. You're doing it wrong. And she talk to Tool? She did. Didn't she?
What?
She's trying to get through to him.
Yeah, but he's ignoring it. He's in his mind blocking it all out.
Yeah.
And because he's so deep in his thoughts. And she's like, I've got your kids, you idiot. What am I going to have to do? Am I going to have to kill your kids just to get your attention? And she hears, if you touch those kids, I'm going to get you. She's like, oh, finally, I got you. And it's like, did you though?
She talked. She talked to him.
Oh, I didn't get your pun. I'm an idiot. I didn't get your pun. Who are you talking to? Yeah, I thought that was a rad moment where Talk's like, don't make me come over there. And she's like, ooh, I'm so mad at you. I'm going to get you. You dummy. You're all you do is hang out with dead people. Oh, look at all the dead people. All the dead people. And it's clearly, right, the Lord of Death, who is, we know, Iskar Jarak.
Yeah.
Whiskey Jack, it's like he's got his silvery beard and his steel eyes.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's Whiskey Jack being like, step back, lady.
What are you saying to one of my people? What are you saying to who?
What you gonna do? What are you gonna do? That's what I thought. Yeah. And then she like pops back to reality. She's like, "Oh, I'm so mad!" Bang! And she just knocks Torrent across the.
I know. He's like, ah!
She's like, "What did I do?"
well, isn't Torrent like, is everything okay? You're like screaming by
Yeah,
yourself
you, like,
a lot.
deafened us by your screaming. All the children are scared, and she's like, "Wang!" He goes flying across, breaks his ribs. Very funny.
Him just like, she's like, everybody shut up. I'm powerful.
Yeah. So then we cut over to Tool, he's inside his Talon. He's like wrapped himself inside the magic, just feeling his feels. He's in his emotion. And it's blocking out. It's kind of creating a barrier to anybody talking to him, including Olarathiel.
Mm-hmm. It feels like he's creating like a little Warren bubble around himself of his own desperation, misery magic.
It's a Warren Buffett.
Boo.
Boo. So
silly.
So he has a bit of a flashback here. He thinks back to the moment that Logros told him that he was not the first sword anymore because he was given the first sword to Dasim Ultor. Now, this is a big thing. I read this maybe 3 times, just trying to grok all of it exactly, because it's a big reveal.
Yeah.
It plays like a big reveal because something that hasn't really been discussed since, I don't know, book 1 or 2, but it's been lurking in the background, is this notion that Dasim Ultor had a daughter.
Yeah.
I think that daughter was who Cotillion was in love with.
Yeah. Yeah. And then at some point, somebody gave like a history list and her name was mentioned.
Yes. And she was supposedly stolen by Hood and taken, and that is what supposedly pissed off Dasim Ultor and ruined everything.
Yeah.
Right? But also we were led to believe in the first chapter of Gardens of the Moon that Lorne killing Kellanved, which she didn't actually, because he ascended to godhood and became Shadow Throne. But the idea of Ajak Lorne killing Kellanved is what knocked everything off of its axis, and because Kellanved had been in control of the Talana and had been using them to sort of unite the Empire because they were his secret attack force that couldn't be killed because they were already undead. He was the first throne. He could command them. Because she killed him, that through the Talana, sort of
got the deed.
What?
Got the deed to the Talana transferred.
That's right. Decoupled them.
Yeah.
But what we find out here is that all of that is wrong. That the real thing that messed up the Talana was Dasim Ultor becoming the new first sword, and that Hood didn't, in fact, mess with his daughter. He was using his daughter and him as his own personal weapons. To what end? It does not reveal yet. Did I get all that right? According to your reading?
As far as I can tell.
Because what happened is Tool is a first sword.
Yeah.
Logros comes to him and says, "You're not the first sword anymore. I'm giving it to Dasim Ultor." Tool says, "Bad idea, Jeans, dude. He's immortal. He can't handle it. I'm undead. Ain't no, skin off my nose. I don't have any skin."
I don't even barely have a nose.
That's right. But if you do this to a mortal, it's going to mess him up hard. In fact, once the Talana start worshiping him, he's going to become a god. Not a good god, a real sad, weepy god, the god of tears. And Tool thinks of the ascendancy to godhood as a curse, not as something beneficial.
Well, ascendancy to godhood being immortality, it makes sense that he would view it as a curse because all the Talana are like, just let us die.
Right, exactly. So Logros is like, you can go suck eggs, bro. I'm doing it. It's happening.
Bro Gross.
I'm pretty sure I'm quoting this exactly. I don't know why you're laughing.
Bro Gross is in the house.
So that is kind of the true history, or at least up till now. So this massive sort of fulcrum upon which much of the history of the Malazan Empire had rotated has been misrepresented throughout time.
Yes. Which was not the first time we've seen it coming from the Malazans in general, even.
Right.
There's precedent.
Right. But it feels like a big deal as far as what's about to happen, because now we know Logros. We had Logros in the scene with Silchus. Mm-hmm. We know that Tool is going to do something. He's back to being the first sword, and then we get these scenes where, various Talana Mas are kind of reacting to his thoughts. Ulag and Rystal,
where they're still like, he really doesn't know that he's like just
broadcasting all this.
Does he know his mic's not muted?
You're on speaker. Yeah. So they have various opinions about it, but it seems like, he describes himself as the weapon of the godless now.
Yes.
Which is pretty awesome.
Pretty awesome and very interesting in the perspectives of other people of like, I assume they're gleaning where they're marching to, what is the purpose to some degree, because I'm going to get their names wrong. One is Ulag and the other is
Rystal.
Right. Yeah. They're going to give up. They're going to just crumble under the weight. And even people who have been following Tool cannot handle the raw emotion and raw thought coming from him. It is like too powerful that they are either piecing out or being destroyed by it. That was my read. And Ulag was like, I got to go. I can't be doing this anymore. And she's like, you have to, but you just have to find a time in your life when you were happy. Like literally, what's your happy place? Can you think of a positive thought? And he's like, no, never. That never had one in my entire existence. And she's like, you have to, because when it comes down to it, that is the only thing that you can cling to. And I thought that there was interesting, this world where things seem to come from the mind and emotions and spirit and then manifest and become real. This world where somebody seems to know a little bit more. And I can't tell if it's just the pep talk or if it's like down the line, we'll be able to burst into dust. And if we're clinging to the right thought, we will end in our version of paradise.
Yeah.
Was sort of like the thread that it felt like I was following.
I like that. The other thing that I'm just putting together now because of what we were just talked about that you brought up about December being split in two, or maybe all the gods split in two as.
Yeah.
But there is this line in this scene where Tool says, the first sword is torn in two, one half mortal and cruel in denial, the other half immortal and crueler still.
Yeah.
So I think that reinforces this notion that December and Traveler or Decimultor are sort of two halves of the same thing that are one in the mortal world and one in the immortal world.
Yeah.
All right. So next up we have, we check in with Gruntle, who's just tigering it up. He loves it. He loves being a tiger.
I love it cuts to him where he's like, I'm having these crazy dreams. Puh, bones. Like, anyway.
Yeah. He's this is another of these sort of reinforcing this notion of the beasts having dominion over the world or humans having dominion over the world. And the fact that the humans kind of rested atop the food chain and wiped out many of the beasts and stopped their liberty, their ability to sort of live free on the planet. but this notion of the beasts coming back to retake their rightful place as having dominion over the world, which I think feels like a real theme where we're headed, of like what deserves to sit atop the food chain, so to speak.
It is like another sort of side to the coin of Karsa's civilization versus not civilization.
100%.
Of literally being like the wilds and wanting
Yes.
things to just be wild and feel free versus the control and the eradication that comes with humanity.
This is why I'm sitting around going, where's Karsa? Give me some Karsa up in here.
Mm-hmm.
Where is he? Keep waiting. So excited. But yes,
that was another person I thought of on the horseback was Karsa. But then there's something about it that I was like,
yeah, it's not. He's not.
It wouldn't be like, here's your scrawny horse. It'd be like, and then a giant horse.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So he's dreaming of hunting and hunting, but he also is like, hey, Trake, I get it. I understand why you never came back from Tiger Town, because it's hard. It's sweet bliss of Tiger World. Love it. All right. So then we have one of my favorite scenes of this week, which is Mappo remembering this lovely little sad, bittersweet moment with Ikariam after Ikariam went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and obliterated an entire city, but then his mind was wiped and he's outside that city, literally just piecing together potsherds, trying to put pots back together, being like, what happened back there? Is everybody dead? Yes, everybody's dead. Oh, that's real shame. This like almost like treating him like a child.
And like hiding
the
truth from him and being like, oh, your sword? Yeah, it's clean. We fell in the mud yesterday. You were so muddy. We had to get you cleaned up. Where it's like, he was just like covered in blood for sure.
Yeah.
And then Ikariam, like this sweet side of him that he's like, isn't this the most beautiful blue? And then Mappo, knowing that he's in like such a dark place right now, it is like sort of staggering to see him show this tenderness of being like, I'm going to get a bag, fill as many like the shards as you want, put as much in there, and we can put it back together later. And he's like, well, that's going to be so heavy. And he's like, don't even worry about it, buddy.
Yeah.
It's just, there's like that sweetness there.
Oh, beautifully written, beautifully, just it breaks your heart. And when he says, does everything break? And he says, well, no, not everything. Look at us. Ugh. And then we cut back to the present and he's like, that was the biggest lie of all.
Yeah. So good. But when I first started reading that scene, though, it was like, it does tee you up to feel like, oh, this is what could be happening with Ikariam post the aftermath of everything that they just went through. Other than the fact there was like a city there. And I'm like, they weren't fighting outside a city. They were just like in the wasteland.
Yeah.
But there is like this is what could have been if they were together. They could have just been trying to get through it still as buddies. But there is such for the first few sentences, I was like, well, this is kind of like an unceremonious reunion for like Mappo and Ikariam hanging out. I was like, what? Oh, it's a memory. Right, of course.
All right, then we pop over to Faint and the remaining crew of the TTG. And they are not having a good day. They're all hungry and thirsty and not knowing which way to go. Faint sees the tracks of two huge armies and is trying to figure out which direction do we follow? Which one is going to give us the most food and water and the least death?
And how far away are they? And why are they so stupid to be splitting up? What are they doing?
Right. Yes. Right. Seeing literally the evidence of Tavor's plan of splitting the armies.
Yeah.
She says, wherever they're going, it can't be worth it. Nothing in this world is worth it. Pretty bleak.
Mm-hmm.
So then we have a quick scene with Setok riding with the wild wolves.
Before we move on, that scene I really liked because they're just trying to figure it out. Precious Thimble is like reaching out and being like, there's something over there. It's so horrible. I can't even like think about it. And then she kind of like gives in to like like the feelings and like ends up like sort of snuggling up on Jula, who's like been sad, and that's been like her thing is like had those brothers fighting over me so that I don't have to like give in to one or the other. And through all the misery, this is the first time I think that we've seen that she like, you know, collapses into his arms, and he's kind of like, she's here though. And then she faints like, what happened? He goes, she fainted. Faint. And she's like, you're such an idiot. But he's kind of like carrying her. But this is the first glimmer that we've seen through the sadness of him being like a little bit happy about the fact that she's like snuggling up on him in a way that I thought was like, I was wondering about, because that was like their whole thing. And this is the first time I think we've seen a glimmer of it.
To the patient come the spoils. So then... so let me have this moment with Setok. This is another one of those things where she's like in full beast mode with the wolves, the destriant of the wolves, and she's like, we have to retake the world. It's ours. We need to get it back from those pesky humans that tried to wipe us out. But you know what I need? I need me an army. I need 1,000 iron swords. And I think we're going to find out where she's going to get them from very soon. Okay, so then the last scene, so awesome. We are in the POV of a forkless sail, Sister Equity, who, as Erikson is always doing, giving us a different facet. These groups are not monoliths. They are not of a singular mind. There's disagreement amongst all of them all the time. There's nuance. It's so good. It's so good because it's not just like all the orcs are following Saruman. You know, I'm not slagging J.R. Tolkien, but you know what I mean? It's like, it's not just, it's not just like this monolithic group that thinks one way and they represent one thing and they're all the same. No, there's actual, very realistic differences of opinion even within these movements. And Sister Equity is an example of that.
It's interesting, even, I did not really think about it while we were reading it, but the fact that her name is Sister Equity.
Yeah.
Is being like, hey, trying to like be this peace talker.
Yeah. And she dreams of peace. She's like, hey, sure. We as the Forkless Sail, we've murdered a lot of people.
Look, I know what we are.
It doesn't have to be that way. I dream of peace, baby.
And she's talking about like, we've murdered a lot of people, but like when you think of it in comparison to murdering literally all the people, it's a better choice to only murder a lot of them.
I mean, this is a very, I hate to be reductive, but it's a very Thanos kind of, position. It's like, we got to kill a hell of a lot of people for some people to make it. And it's this notion of justice, this notion of, and she's like, I want there to be peace. I don't want to kill anyone ever again. What do we got to do to make that happen? Well, it turns out we got to wipe out most of the humans. But she also has this, she's thinking about the fact that their God was slain and that there's this new opportunity with the heart of the crippled God, to give them, to open the gate, to let them actually finally achieve what they've always wanted to do, which is ultimate justice, which is, at the scary form of it, of course. Mm-hmm. But then she basically lays out the alliance here, which is like, he straight up tells us.
I know, a lot of info.
Forkless Sail, Teisliosen, the Alent, the dragons, and the wolves. These are our team.
Beast buddies.
It's team kill humans.
And then on the other side, humans.
Yeah.
And lizards.
And lizards. And right. And then, lizards. Very good. Anyway, so she comes upon some people who happen to be shipwrecked on her shore. From her perspective, wasn't sure who it was at first, but of course it is Shirk and the crew of the ship. And it's an amazing sequence where she's like, get out of here. And there's a battle and she kills some of them. And then there's magic shot at her, and there, this crazy chick with 2 battle axes. The axes are flying at her.
But also, it just like continues to level up how spooky the forkless sail is. That she takes like an arrow to the head and like an axe directly to the chest, and she's like, "Oh, so annoying!" Twink, and like her chest is healing up already immediately. But the entire time, it's like it's a battle, and we see how badass they are and like what they could unleash. But she's like, "Stop that! Hey, stop that! Hey, I'm trying. Stop! I'm trying to talk. Stop it! Stop it!" But every time she says "stop it," she's like killing somebody brutally. She's like, "You guys, I'm trying to talk to you here. I'm trying to just 1 second beheading some guy, throwing him across the. It's like
so cool,
casual murder to be like, I'm just trying to have a chat here, people."
And the cool double jointedness of the forkless sail. I love how he describes the like something comes at her torso and she like goes. And it, like her whole torso kind of shifts to the side and lets it go through. It's just so neat. And her face has a hinge in it and all that stuff.
Yeah. And they're being like, I'm just trying to talk to you here. It's like, you just killed a bunch of my crew, but I didn't kill all of the crew.
I could have easily killed all y'all.
Think about it for a second.
Also, we get another example of just how awesome the handmaiden is.
Yes.
Because she's using Sister Equity is using the voice, her ability, the forkless sail ability to sort of force you to do things. Mm-hmm. And the handmaiden is resisting it. Like her nose is bleeding, but she won't stay down. She won't stop. Indefatigable, unstoppable, awesome.
And the forkless sail comes with some pretty cool news and being like, all right, you freaks, where's the jaghead? And they're like, there is not a jaghead. She's like, that your handmaiden is a jaghead. And they're like, no, she's not.
Yeah.
It's like, well,
how come you're using Amtos Falak if there's no jaghead around?
And they're like, well, we just have it. I mean, we got this boat from there. You didn't get the boat from there. Okay. Where is he? And then she's like, open your warren. She's like, it's not going to work. She's like, it's going to work. Opening it up, Hood stepping out. Oh,
dude.
So awesome. So awesome. What a badass.
You think you've got this, there's this notion I don't know if you had, that maybe there is this contingent of forkless sail that might be willing to sort of betray the rest of them or work with them. Or, she's like, I want peace. Where's your jacket? Let's just, and she's like, okay. And I'm like, oh, we're going to have this sick team up where one of the forkless sail is going to turn on them. No. Hood's like, just takes a freaking bite out of her face.
I was like,
bite out of your face.
And doesn't even eat it. Just the idea that the tusks piercing through her face like twice, just 2 chomps dropping. He's like, I really don't like forkless sail.
It's such a great line. It's such a great line. I never liked them. No, they're tangy.
That's pretty extreme there, buddy. I feel like we could have waited like 1 second.
Yeah.
But like how hasty it is it made me immediately like, Hood, we have seen you when you're in your realm, being the death god, being sweet, being tender, changing what the gate looks like for people in the past. Like being general good guy vibes. But then you do this and I'm immediately like, what's up, man?
Well, the best line too, he's like, I recently learned a lesson in brevity.
Yes.
Which is like a callback to when he was like, let me tell you. And then he just got his whole, like how fast he was murdered. Remember?
Yeah.
Which like came out of nowhere. And he was, he thought it was going to take forever. And Rake was just like, nope, quick. Zoop, zoop. It's like, I learned a lesson in brevity. Like, ooh, it's just an amazing callback. Amazing callback.
So good. But also, why?
Why? That's the question. Well, they're like, we were looking for allies. We need allies. And Hood's like, you don't need allies.
I'm the only ally you need, baby girl. Stick with me.
Incredible. And it ends with Flash just barfing.
So everybody's like, this is crazy.
Unreal end of the chapter. Unreal.
Yeah.
Just so crazy.
Also, one thing that we didn't touch on, just thought about it with Flash, where she's smoking a lot and she said it's almost time for my daily cough.
Yeah.
That's like a weird magical thing, right? Being like,
I don't know. I thought it was just an affectation of her, like, this is what I do every day.
and I get one cough. I get it all out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a bad bee. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
All right. Chapter 10. I know. Here we are. We got one more to go. This is why we didn't have a non-spoiler section.
Yeah.
This chapter's awesome. Also, starts with Erinick staring at the glass desert, which is described as I see it so vividly in my mind. The way it looks like waves crashing on a shore, but it's glass. These shards, these crystalline shards. So cinematic.
Mm-hmm.
So cool. And she's like, who does this? Who crosses that? Who attempts to? They're gonna die. They're probably dead right now. 3 steps in. I'm sure they're dead.
Uh-huh.
And then it's just a really cool way to reinforce how awesome the Malazans are. Where she says they shame the gods themselves.
Love it.
Come on. Brees has been staring at them, like lingering there, watching them leave, like sad, not wanting to admit that, they can't join them, that just letting them go by themselves.
And him and Tavor standing there watching. Tavor went and joined them.
Yeah.
Right. With the bridge burners. But watching this happen, and he describes it as like being the lingering memory or the haunting memory of all of them snapping the sharpest salute.
Yeah. Oh, they're
going
like
to
walking
their
by and it's dude, so cinematic. Just walking to their death, but doing it with honor and discipline.
Dignity.
Yeah, dignity and self-discipline. Amazing. And also then immediately we get, he's so good at this, like getting from that just powerful, dark, bleak moment to this wonderful joke of Tehal's blanket as the standard.
Yeah.
I love it.
I remember the conversation. Just getting us a little Tehal sass in there, even
I love getting
from afar.
I miss the character so much, and that little fun bit of goofballery with him and the queen, and the fact that Brees is remembering it and laughing to himself, like he's chuckling at the remembrance of his brother. I loved it.
But even like there's like the little line in the memory of being like, it's got my bed from on top of the thing, and then it's got the chickens. No, all the chickens are alive. And then he's like, people are not going to want to rally into this. And it's like, yeah, if they'll waive the standard if it's time for retreat, and then they can go hide under my bed with the other chickens. It's like a little dig at like what a retreat means. But then it even talks about a slight bit later, the standard bearer going ahead, and as soon as you get a little bit further away, it just looks like a white flag.
Yeah. And
I think that the idea of like there is like a poetry, and it looks like surrender. It looks like
100%.
Your standard bearer before the thing that people would see from a distance is that you're already surrendering. Is like the underlying wish for peace.
Yes,
for me.
And it's Tehal's sort of undermining of all of these established systems, basically these structures, these things that have been in place that he just wants to tear down, including the military. I love it.
Tehal gives me on the Wilds side.
Yeah, very funny. I love that. So then we have this incredible moment too, where Erinick and Brees are standing there, and then Stormy, Gessler, Calith, Grubb, and Sin walk up, and she's like, "Oh no! Oh god! Oh god! Oh god! Oh god!" He's like, "What? What is it?" She's like, "I'll tell you later. Can't talk now. I'll tell you later. I'll tell you after the party."
She's like,
yeah.
Just talk to him.
Yeah.
But and also before they even showed up, wasn't she like the scene where she's like, he's so obsessed with me. Now she's like, you're not giving me enough attention. You've been ignoring me for weeks.
Yeah. And this really cool moment where Stormy and Gessler, they're talking about who's gonna, take command, and Brees is like, "You guys take it. She trusts you," and they're like, "We don't want it." And they have this awesome, cool Stormy Gessler knucklehead moment, as is characteristic of those two.
Mm-hmm.
And then they leave. And before they leave, we get some really interesting tidbits of their backstory, which feel important, which is like Stormy accuses Gessler of having been Fenner's mortal sword. He's like, I wasn't that. I think he maybe was. And also that Stormy betrayed the Empire. He's like, remember what Cartheron and Urkos asked you to do? I don't think we know that. I think that's his new backstory.
Because we just found them they were running errands or whatever, but then they just ended up on the ship with the fire warren, and now they were
in that. Remember they were in that bar that just was it Genoese that was
Duker?
They just kind of Duker that just like happened to be in, and then they got on the boat.
Yeah.
Oh no, so they leave, and Erinicht is like, these guys are almost god level beings. They're ascendant. They're hanging on for dear life to their humanity. They're almost ascended to gods. And the scary one are those two kids. The scary one is that one girl. She is terrifying me.
Yeah.
And the other one is her conscience made manifest.
Yeah.
So cool.
The interesting pieces about the scene are, the debate of who needs to take authority for the army is Gessler and Stormy end up, begrudgingly taking on the command because they have command of the lizards. If it were, it's like the easiest way for them. They have the most knowledge because of their implicit knowledge of how the lizards work and how they can change them all sort of function. It was what the adjunct wanted. And then Erinicht points out that she wants them to take command, not because they are the best possible suited, but because she wants to remove as much power from sin as possible. Because she's like when you embrace fire as like your main source of magic, it scours you clean. There's nothing inside. There's no care for anything.
Well, also because there's that haunting moment where it's because she trusts them. And there's that moment where one of them, Stormy or Gessler, was like, it says that like the weight of the adjunct's trust is, you could feel it. He says like a man condemned. He whispers like, she trusts us like a man condemned.
Yeah, I think I might have.
And the other thing, the thing that Erinicht points out is that because they went through the fires of Talon, they can withstand fire. Yeah. So they are the only ones that could stand in the face of her magic.
Yes.
And not get burnt.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling like that is foreshadowing a major showdown where Sin loses her shit.
Yeah.
And Stormy and Gessler have to be the only ones to stand in the face of it, which, man. Whew. But also she says, if we can only save one person, we got to save Grub.
Yeah.
Cool.
Very cool.
Okay. Guess what? Chapter 10. Don't stop there. Because we get another amazing scene. I would say this is the payoff that I've been waiting for. Krugava and Tanakalian just feels like this slow burn. I never really knew. We talked about this. Like,
so
who do we
rude
like?
to him
who do we trust?
all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know where this was headed. It felt kind of nebulous, and there's this building tension between the two of them, the bickering, the sort of putting each other down. But I didn't really know, what end. It felt like this real slow burn.
And even like the fact that they're like, no, we're not getting a Destriant yet. We're not going to do that, or whatever the third one is. I forget.
Yeah, Destriant.
Yeah, Destriant.
Yeah.
Wait, we don't have one. We're going to get one when it's right. Not right now, idiot.
Well, there's that was like their first big disagreement is like, we need a Destriant. No, we don't. And that was like the thing that when we first met them, I feel like that was the very first argument they had was like, you need to get a Destriant, assign one. She's like, no. We're not just throwing any old person into that role.
Because I don't want another you.
That's right. That's right.
She bided her time about it because she didn't want to make the same mistake as having another Tentacalian around who's clearly
Yeah.
like a conniving little weasel. But
Right.
so the scene that is happening is Tentacalian finally sees this opportunity, sees how miserable what it is they're up against and where they're going, and realizes he could use this as leverage. He has enough evidence and is like obviously this compelling speaker that he can pull it together and usurp as sort of the leader of the parish. And
Amazing.
it is amazing. He like totally turns everything on his heel. And I think everybody witnessing her being a jerk to him, I don't think everybody knows the inner workings of their relationship. They just see her be mean to him all the time. And so I think there's like a sympathetic feeling, an empathetic feeling from people to begin with. But then they even point out, we need a destriant right now because a destriant is the glue. If you have 3 people, you have a discussion. And if you have 2 people, you have 2 unmovable forces that will pull away from each other until it's completely broken. So it points out how important that was, what a flaw it was in her plans to not assign one out of fear. And then he's able to sort of push all of these things to say, hey, you sort of swearing yourself and all of us to Tavor, this mortal woman, instead of our actual gods who we actually care about, these wolves. You are not fit to lead us because we are here for the wolves and you are here for yourself and for Tavor.
It's an amazing scene because we're inside this moment where Tentacalian is like, are we doing this right now? You know what? I think we're doing this right now. I'm doing this right now. Let's go for it. And then he goes so hard at her. And you kind of see his point in this kind of, twisted way. Because the juxtaposition he's making is you have put us in an untenable position.
Yeah.
We have vows to our gods, and you have made a vow to this mortal woman. And those two are at odds with each other, and they are mutually exclusive. We cannot fulfill both.
Yeah.
So the adjunct spoke of betrayal. You have made it inevitable. Because when we decide, and we will have to decide, we will be forced to betray one or the other because we can't follow both.
If there is a betrayer, it's you, not us.
That's right.
Taking the weight of the betrayal off of everybody.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What would you have us do? Would you have us honor our gods and do the thing we've all vowed, or honor you and your egotistical vow to this woman? What should we do, everybody? And they're like, gods.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is their whole thing, which I don't think had been revealed up to this point, is that they're all up on Team Wolf, Team Tog and Fanderay.
I think we did know that about them, but I don't think just like a lot of things, a lot of people are like, yeah, my gods, blah, 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 but you don't like think that hard about it because gods are everywhere. And there's always another sort of more important god to be thinking about.
Yeah.
So we do know that they have like wolf motifs, and we've seen them. Like we did know that they were a puppy dog leaning, but
I didn't have that in my head, but you're right. We did have all the information, but I love how this is this notion of, there's no such thing as a final war. You want to take us to the final war? Adjunct, it's like we're going to have one final battle. There's no such thing as the final battle.
Yeah.
There's always another battle. And guess what? The only way that we're going to get back to where we're supposed to be is if we wipe all of them out. Them being us, because we're humans too, but we don't have to fall on our sword. We don't have to commit suicide. We don't have to be part of the culling of humans, because there's going to be another battle that we're going to have to be around for, that we're going to have to help out the wolves again.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's crazy logic, but it has a through line that you can follow and you can see his point. It's like, and I loved her reaction where she knows she's cooked. She knows she's cooked.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm out. This is what you all want. I'm out. I'm done. I resign.
Yeah.
Go.
I love
Go
that
ahead.
we don't even have to wait for like the next payoff or her exit line being like, hey, I never, ever lost myself enough such that I did not thank the people around me for helping set up a tent, for helping these things. I wonder how long it will be until you forget that that's something that you need to be doing. Yeah. Just like she knows that he's like selfish. We know that he is like out for himself and is doing a selfish thing even just by doing this. He has his own personal motivations, obviously. Yeah. But we then immediately get her seen exiting, leaving the tent to go hang out with the queen and Spax.
Yeah, that's right.
And just the rage throwing the helmet in the corner and being like, get wine, any wine in my face. Well, now.
Before we get to that, I want to point out something that I think is just incredible, and that is, what Erikson has established here is so I find so compelling. This notion that I as the reader am my alliances, my sympathies are with both groups, as he often does. But it's on such a huge scale because we have these beasts, and as somebody who is, a sensitive kind of guy, I recognize, like, man, humans are the problem in a lot of ways. It is easy to see us as the problems. We have just run roughshod on this planet. We have extinctified a whole bunch of things that didn't deserve to go extinct. We have been a terrible force for destruction on this planet. And yeah, I can understand these beasts saying, we need to ascend. We need to take our rightful place. I, as the reader, am rooting for this to happen in a certain way. I'm going, yes, that makes sense. Humans should not throw their will and treat other things like they are there simply to feed us and bend to our wills. Yes, but the counterpoint, the juxtaposition that Erikson raises here is humanity, and the loss of humanity is equally as destructive, and it is losing something. That when we have Gruntle recognizing that Treach lost his humanity, lost himself to the beast, Setok sort of losing herself to the beast, these, the what is it, the gray swords,
gray helms, the parish,
yes, losing their humanity, like, and Krugava saying, you will lose your humanity, you will forget the basic decency that comes with being humans. Are beasts mistreated by humans? Yes, but guess what? They exist for one thing and one thing only. They do not have that basic human regard that we as a species have found. They exist to feed and to move on to the next thing that feeds them. And I love how he builds these two pillars. And I look at them and I go, I don't know what the right answer is here. Yeah.
And that it just following your train of thought here, that even goes back to Decimalter and Traveler. The best part of himself was the human part, because it had these elements. It had the ability to have empathy. We've seen this through the stories of, like, hey, if a human goes and kills a hare in the woods, do the hares rise up and then kill them? No, because they can't feel that way. They don't feel that way. They can't. But if, like, a wolf attacks the humans, the humans will band together and go slaughter the wolf in the woods. And those are that you're so right for drawing so much attention to this, because even through the end of this chapter,
yes,
it's like
this
hammered
is what we
home
find
even
out.
further. It
feels
really
like
great.
The thesis statement of the entire series.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing to me, as we barrel toward this conclusion, is there's no right answer. Yeah. That's the thing that is so thrilling to me about where this is all going to land, is where's all this going to land?
What is the final, is there a final button on this? Is there a little bow that's tied at the end? I feel like the answer can't possibly.
Yeah. That's what's so powerful and so exciting to me about it. Again, don't tell us. So then we have this last scene, which is truly spectacular. I don't know about you. I burst into tears at the last line of it. I pulled it as a quote. I don't even know if it's you kind of need the whole scene, because the whole scene feels like this snowball down a mountain, this train on a track thundering forward, the momentum of it.
It does. And it starts with a place of levity, as I find that Steven will always sort of like bring it up a little bit and then descend back down into misery. But the levity of, Krugava showing up and being like, you surfed, I guess. And they're like, dang, I really did not think he had it in him. But they're not like surprised necessarily, but they're like, now? Him?
Yeah. She hits the bar and she's like, he broke up with you in public? Exactly. I did not. I mean, I knew he was a jerk, but I did not see. It's that like, you need a drink. Get this chick a drink. And Spax is like, I could make you feel better with my penis. And she's like, stop it right now.
He's like,
maybe no, stop it.
He's like, well, can I hang out? And they're like, if you sit over there and shut up. And he like, it just goes by the curtains and it's just hanging out. The best
line is Karina Aberstall is like, go lay down by the entrance. We might need a doormat later.
Oh, good.
So good. It's so good.
But he's just there.
But then he's the dude who at the end puts it together.
Yeah.
That's what's so brilliant.
Yeah.
He's just a doofus through this whole scene. And then he's like, wait, you don't get it? You don't get it? So this barreling momentum of like, she had this thing in her hand, and Queen Abyssal was like, no, she doesn't understand. You're wrong. She's like, no, I was her faith. I was an embodiment of her faith, her belief, and I've let her down. I cannot betray her. I cannot go to the other side. She put her faith in me. I am her faith. And she's like, no, you got that all wrong. You don't understand.
She's like, literally. I mean, literally.
Yeah. It's so brilliant. And then this thing of like, no, she had something in her hands, something precious, something only she is holding that's going to get us through. And she's like, what is it? And then we go and he obfuscates that and holds back, and we're waiting, and we have as readers, such anticipation of what it is. And then Spax is like, you don't know? You don't know? You didn't see it? It's compassion. And that is when I burst into tears.
Yeah.
Because, oh my God, that's it, man. That's it. That's the whole series. That's the whole kit and caboodle. Mm-hmm. That's what we're all here for, man. That's the one thing that we got, the only thing.
Yeah.
And then Krugava says, but it's not enough.
Yeah. So good. But not even just at that emotional level, but thinking about like the book and what does that mean, and what are we saying about like the loss of humanity, and who doesn't have humanity? It's the beasts and the gods. And so literally she's holding on to compassion. Is she in like a Stormy and Gessler situation? She's constantly talked about as just being a mortal woman, but is that also saying like the meta layer? Or I guess not the meta layer, like the literal layer of the book of like, is she clinging to her own humanity, or is she just she's trying to still give a crap about anybody else. Right. And everybody else makes it so hard to do.
And this notion too of like her coldness is not her being a bee.
It's the biggest favor.
It's a gift. It's a gift, her coldness. It's like she holds it all inside so you don't have to hold it.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Like we saw just with Dead Smell, like the one person who she ever had to let in was like destroyed. Yeah.
The only thing that I am willing to predict right now, and again, don't confirm or deny, ladies and gentlemen, the only thing I'm going to be able to predict is that I think the missing piece, the piece that she does not see coming, the piece that will unlock whatever it is that needs to unlock in her, is Ganoes, is her brother.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to happen ultimately, is that he's going to bring something to the equation that's going to change it from what even she anticipated.
So here's my question. That is something that just sort of like, it was like a lone thought that flitted through my mind. Reading these chapters, who are their parents?
Yeah. Well, they were like nobles in Jerusalem, I want to say.
Yeah.
But I don't, and we met them. We met their like servant dude, and like they were just,
they're just people. Their parents weren't anybody doing anything special. We've never heard talk about them.
I love that
So
though.
maybe
I don't want their parents to have to be, they're just
but
remarkable
there's
kids.
something, I agree with that, but there was something about some of the discussion with the emperor and the bridge burners being their children, and like some of those connections that made me be like, I wonder if they are like, and there has been a lot of talk about like ascended children and children in lineage and all these different things that made me be like, who are their parents? Do they matter? Is this something that we've thought about? And I think
question.
I kind of hope that there's like, it's not like, and then they've been working for their dad, but it did make me wonder if there was like something in there that I'm missing that is like shows an even better connection other than just the civic stuff. Not that that's not enough, but that was one of the thoughts that just flew past my brain while I was reading these chapters.
Well, this is, I mean, here we are. It's happening, right? It's all happening. This is incredible.
Yeah.
I have 3 little blurbs.
I think I do too, but you can kick us off.
All right. So this is a short one that I think is, I mean, it could be written in the newspaper about right now, what's happening in Gaza.
Yeah.
Children are dying, still dying, forever dying. Thorol fell, her screams deadening to choking, hacking sounds as shards crawled down her throat. She writhed and then twitched, and the swarm grew sluggish, feeding, fattening. Badal watched the children close in, watched their hands lunge out, snatching wallowing in insects, snuffing them into eager mouths. We go round and round, and this is the story of the world. Do not flee us. Do not flee this moment, this scene. Do not confuse dislike and abhorrence with angry denial of truths you do not wish to see. I accept your horror and expect no forgiveness, but if you deny, I name you coward. And I have had my fill of cowards.
Yeah, I had that same pull for this week. It's so that's the stuff there's so many times in this book that I feel it touching so close to reality, but just the magnitude of horrors that are happening around the world all the time, and always have been, but I guess my awareness of the horrors, and we reference Gaza a lot. That's not the only place stuff like this is happening. It's everywhere, and it feels I feel it so deeply when I read things like that. Well read.
Thank you.
Mine, interesting, seeing these sort of laced together, is about stories as well. This is withal falling into a sinkhole and having a little think. Sure enough, a discovery like this here in the forest above the shore, at the base of a vast sinkhole his errant step had inadvertently discovered, well, it led to questions and mystery, and like the missing patches and the thick clumps of moss, he found a need to fill in the gaps. For we are all bound in stories. And as the years pile up, they turn to stone, layer upon layer, building our lives. You can stand on them and stare out at future's horizon, or you can be crushed beneath their weight. You can take a pick in hand and break them all apart until you're left with nothing but rubble. You can crush that down into dust and watch the wind blow it away. Or you can worship those wretched stories, carving idols and fascinating lies to lift your gaze ever higher, and all those falsehoods make hollow and thin the ground you stand on. Stories. They are the clutter in our lives, the conveniences we lean upon and hide behind. But what of it? Change them at will. It's only a game in the skull, shaking the bones in the cup to see if something new shows up. I imagine such games are liberating, and the sense of leaving oneself behind is akin to moving house. A fresh start beckons, a new life, a new host of stories, a new mountain to build stone by stone.
I mean, if that's not the author speaking directly to the reader, I don't know what is.
Woo! So good.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And also,
Yeah.
I didn't notice his errant step. A little nudge there, maybe?
Yeah. Yeah, so to speak. I believe this is Torrent speaking. This is another thing about children. It was a measure of human madness, he realized, that children should be made to see such things. The pain of the dying, the violence of the slayer, the cruelty of the victor. He wondered what the twins had seen since that night of betrayal. Even Absy must bear scars, though he seemed oddly immune to long bouts of sorrow. No, none of this was right. But then maybe it had never been right. Did there not come to every child that moment when the mother, the father, loses that godlike status, that supreme competence in all things, when they are revealed to be as weak, as flawed, and as lost as the child looking on? How that moment crushes. All at once the world becomes a threatening place, and in the unknown waits all manner of danger, and the child wonders if there is any place left in which to hide, to find refuge.
Mm. Real
Beautiful.
good. Real good. I have one here from Gruntle, being in his brain, tiger brain. Gruntle snorted. Where was the mind that dreamed of unimagined possibilities, like hands groping in the dark? Groping. Was that a flare of distant light? Was that a promise of something wonderful? In the moment before the low growl, hackles snapping, and the sudden lunge, better to die reaching for dreams than reaching for what? That tick under the armpit of the smelly creature huddled against you? I've heard that rock apes gather on the cliff edges to watch the sun set and rise. What are they thinking? What are they dreaming? Is that a moment of prayer? A time to give thanks for the glory of life? A prayer? Aye. May all these two-legged hunters choose straight up their own arses. Give us spears of fire and lightning to turn this battle just once, we beg you, just once. He reached out a massive barbed paw and slapped at a small skull, watched it skid and slowly spin in place. Got you, I see. Fangs went crunch, dreams went away, done. With a low growl, he slipped past the heaps of bones until he found the place where the ancient cats had slept, bellies full, running through the wild grasses of their dream worlds, which were no different from this one. Imagine dreaming of a paradise, no different from the one in which you happen to live. What moral might hide in that?
That's beautiful. Beautiful. Do you have any more?
I think I have one more, but I'm going to double check. But you want to close it out. We might have the same one.
Well, I just have the last bit of the chapter, and I don't even know if it doesn't do it justice, but it's just so powerful. It kind of needs the whole momentum of the rest of the chapter to get there, the rest of the scene to get there. But yeah, I just love it so much. Go.
I have two really short ones.
Oh, go for it.
And then you can close us out with the whopper. This is Aaron talking to Brees, I believe. No one wants to be unliked, Brees. But if it must be so, one can strive for other things, like respect or even fear. Choices fall away without you even noticing until there are very few left, and you realize that you are nothing but what you are.
You're nothing but what you are.
Yeah.
Choices fall away. Oh, that's so good. So good.
And this last teeny tiny one is in the tee up to yours is Tanakalian and Krugava yelling at each other. With Tanakalian talking about the final war. A final war? Don't be ridiculous. There's no such thing as a final war. When the last human falls, when the last god breathes his last breath, the vermin shall lock jaws over the carcasses.
Yeah.
Love it.
Incredible. Lock jaws over the carcasses. What? Oh, language. The language.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. All right. Krugava shook her head. I have watched it weaken. I have watched its light fade from the world, and I have seen her desperation. We are too few. We are failing. That shining thing there in her hand is dying. Tell me its name, Abrastal whispered. This argument of yours, you name one side faith and another despair. Speak to me of what she holds, this failing, dying thing. Spax turned to Abrastal in surprise. Why, Firehair, you do not yet know that which fades from the world? Its name is compassion. This is what she holds for the fallen god, what she holds for us all. And it is not enough, Krugaga whispered. Gods below, it is not enough. Waterworks for me. So good.
Book good.
Incredible.
Book
Hey,
good.
folks, remember we will not be here next week. We'll see you in 2 weeks. I hope in the meantime you still find a chance to dance.
When the world's too dark of a place to be, and you need an escape from reality, open up those pages, it's sci-fi or fantasy, whatever genre you please. And join a book club, 'cause you won't read it on your own. Join a book club, so you'll be held accountable. It's just a means to an end, but you're doing it with your friends, so join the book club.